Hey everybody, Sean here from Somm Wine Club, and I have got some wine for you. This is the 2021 Côtes du Rhône Rouge, part of the June 2023 Somm Wine Club box, and a very unique Côtes du Rhône. I tasted this wine, well, this vintage of it, again, recently, probably 3 months ago, and I stopped. I was like, why does this not taste like most other Côtes du Rhône? So I started digging, and uniquely and slightly, maybe illegally, this Côtes du Rhône is 100% Syrah. So a little legal, uh, so to say. The regulations for Côtes du Rhône say that in order to be labeled Côtes du Rhône, if the vineyards are south of the village of Montélimar, which is the midpoint between the southern Rhône and the northern Rhône, if the wine's coming from vineyards planted in the southern Rhône Valley, then it needs to be a blend of Grenache and Syrah or Grenache and Mourvèdre, predominantly. Can have other things in it, but it has to have at least two of those three. Uh, you can make 100% Syrah Côtes du Rhône if you are in the northern Rhône, if you're in Septentrional, so if you're near Saint Joseph, or so producers like Jean-Luc Jamet produce 100% Côtes du Rhône Syrah. But being based in the north, that's allowed. Being based in the south, where Grenache is the dominant grape variety, you do not see producers making 100% Syrah. So I went down a rabbit hole of reading French legal documents to try and figure out how it was that they could have a certified and appellation control standard marked Côtes du Rhône that's 100% Syrah. And the conclusion that myself and some of my colleagues came to, with the help of one of our very, very knowledgeable wine expert colleagues, is that no, it's technically not allowed, but it does happen occasionally when a producer will take their wine to the NAAO tasting panel that certifies the appellation, and they taste it and they're like, you know what, even though this doesn't quite meet the regulations, it doesn't match up with the laws, it's still representative of Côtes du Rhône. It's still a good example of the region, and declassifying it or taking it down to the level of a vin du pays or table wine would be a disservice to both the appellation and to the wine and to the winery. So they give it its certification anyway. I'm assuming that that's probably what's happened here, and if somebody from the winery wants to chime in and let me know if I'm wrong, I would love to know, because I'm super intrigued, and with that knowledge in hand, I was like, well, I have to now share this with everybody in one of the club boxes. So, Saint-Côme, one of the most historic properties in the Rhone Valley, the oldest in Gigondas, and a site of what they believe is a Gallo-Roman villa that date back to the 11th and 12th century, and perhaps even earlier than that. The chapel that stands in the middle of their vineyards in Gigondas is from the 11th and 12th century, but there was probably already a vineyard site and a villa on that piece of property going back to several thousand years before that, or 100 years before that, pardon me. The modern, quote-unquote, history of Saint-Côme starts in the 15th century with the Barriol family. They've owned and operated Saint-Côme since 1490, and 14 generations of Barriol have worked and produced the wines of Château de Saint-Côme. Now, this is, like I said, a little different from the rest of their production, being kind of centered around Gigondas, but this is coming from what I think is two vineyard sites that I could find near Signargues and Vinsaube, some kind of well-drained kind of old vine Syrah that they're using to produce this delicious, delicious Côtes du Rhône. So let's taste it and kind of give our heads a little spin here. It smells like Northern Rhone. This is what I expect when I put my nose into a glass of Creuser Hermitage or Saint Joseph, where you get that black raspberry, blackberry, black pepper, that slightly meaty, spicy, Syrah, purpley tone to it. Grenache is beautiful, and I love Grenache. I used to have a shirt that said Grenache on it. I'm a big Grenache fan, but it never quite reaches the heights of elegance and aromatic complexity that I find in Syrah. Syrah is wonderfully floral and high toned and spicy and elegant, and it has like dried violet character and this crunch and this blend of floral and fruit and savory and spice and meat and everything. And it's just like a wonderful, wonderful wine. And I just love the way that St. Côme has captured the elegance of Syrah and packaged it in a way that is potentially going to either confuse or delight some consumers who will pick up this bottle thinking that it's their everyday classic Côtes du Rhône and be like, this is very different. It's way more tart. It's got way more acidity. It's got way more tannin. It's got way more everything. It's like someone's turned Côtes du Rhône up to 11. Ooh, whoa. There is structure. There is tannin. There is a grip to it. The wine has like this really powdery, dense, yet refined tannin to it. This being so young, 2021, this is a wine that definitely will reward either patience or decanting. I would almost like 100% recommend just like take this, give it a good splash into a decanter, 2 decanters if you have. You can kind of pour it back and forth between them. Just be careful, you don't throw the wine all over your kitchen floor. But that will help to kind of integrate and soften a little bit of these very firm, powdery tannins, but it'll also add oxygen, which will help lift up some of the fruit and highlight some of the floral and the spice character in the wine. That does not suck. I mean, I knew that, but it's nice to be able to tell you all in front of you that it does not suck. I love these little eccentricities and discoveries and small things that take the world of wine and even a region as kind of everybody knows Côtes du Rhône and give it a little bit of mystique and a little bit of an interesting twist. And like I said, finding those things is part of the fun and the journey and discovery of wine and wines and around the world. It's so drinkable. Definitely would benefit from food as well. I said, being a young 100% Syrah, it's got good acid, good tannin. It's going to stand up to some kind of smoky, meaty, earthy, and it doesn't necessarily have to be meat, but if you do something like roasted, smoked vegetables, I love getting like cherry tomatoes on the vine and like put them on the grill. You get a little bit of char. You get that smoky infusing into the charred green character of the vine. That's like a great accompaniment to a rack of ribs or brisket or something slow cooked, something that's gonna take on a little bit of smoke. I'm struggling to think of things that I do not want to eat with this. Like, just a really good steakhouse burger with like peppery bacon on it. I love this. This is so great, and I'm excited to share a unique expression and a delicious expression of Côte du Rhône from a producer with so much history and so much uh, iconic recognition in the region. So yeah, excited about the Côte du Rhône. Go check out the other wines from St. Colm. They make some delicious Chardonnay de Pop. Their Gigondas, their Vinceau. There is a whole host of delicious Southern Rhone beauties that St. Colm produces that are available here in our market. So lots to discover. This is just the doorway. I'm just opening it. So thanks very much. We'll see you guys next time.